Once made familiar with the term, most of us get the basic principle of inertia, a fundamental law of physics. An object at rest will stay at rest, and an object in motion will remain in motion, all unless the objects are acted upon to either change direction or slow down or speed up. If we think of inertia, of movement and rest, in terms of productivity, that's a helpful way to begin to think about autistic inertia. Autistic people often have a different experience of starting and stopping, or transitioning between, our activities. It can be harder for us than non-autistic people to get ourselves started when faced with what seems like a large or daunting task. Sometimes we might not know where or how to begin, but sometimes, as I know from experience, we might not even know why it seems or feels impossible to start. Sometimes we even engage in other, less important activities to postpone starting what is objectively more important. In a similar way, if we have an activity scheduled for later in the day, some of us find it hard to accomplish much else until that activity has happened. The sense of it looming ahead of us seems to allow us to focus on nothing but it. Or perhaps we don't want to find ourselves wrapped up in something, having to stop for that scheduled activity. Interruptions can feel very jarring and invasive to an autistic individual, as can unexpected requests. Similar to interruptions, many autistic individuals are not fond of change in general, especially sudden or unexpected changes. And what may seem like a small change to others may have an overwhelming impact on an autistic person. Many autistic people thrive on routine and seek it out, perhaps as a way to lessen the unexpected, which can be experienced as very unpleasant. And because of autistic inertia, we may prefer to stay engaged in a mode or activity rather than give in to change. These first two elements of autistic inertia can lead to autistic people being seen as lazy, stubborn, or defiant, or influenced by procrastination, when instead our behavior is simply due to how our brains work. Another aspect related to inertia is that many autistic people need to understand why a task is necessary before they can complete or even begin it. A lack of clear structure or expectations can cause many people on the spectrum to feel almost frozen and unable to proceed. When asked to do a task, an autistic individual may have many questions about the task and how it should be done, or questions that seem unnecessary or unrelated to the person who wants the task done. These questions aren't meant to be difficult or to challenge the person assigning the task. Autistic people in general have a strong need for the world to make sense. And due to the way our brains work, we can be very uncomfortable with acting when we do not know or fully understand the reason or purpose behind what we are being asked to do. Many autistic people can experience feelings of frustration, guilt, and low self-esteem as a result of their struggles with inertia. The disconnect between their desire to act and their ability to do so, or between people's expectations of them and what they themselves are comfortable with, can lead to a sense of helplessness and inadequacy.